Hello friends, welcome back to the King YouTube channel. 1 minute ago. It's time to rally for a noble cause. Let's free Harry. Yes, free him from the misery of his constant complaints, the relentless need for attention, and the burden of a life he seems to detest. Isn't it time we all stood together to help end his suffering? As Harry approaches his 40th birthday, he's set to inherit the last millions from his trust funds. While this might excite Meghan, given their lavish spending habits, maintaining their lifestyle could prove challenging. Reports suggest Harry is unhappy about this upcoming wealth, especially since his family cut him off on his birthday. Apparently, he's preparing to criticize them for not even wishing him a happy birthday. Meanwhile, the Duke of Gloucester, a senior royal, turned 80, highlighting a stark contrast between his lifestyle and Harry's. The Duke and Duchess of Gloucester quietly dedicate themselves to royal duties, covering hundreds of engagements each year with little fanfare. They support around 200 patronages and charities and attend 400 engagements annually, all without seeking the limelight. In 1972, Prince Richard married Birgitte van Doors, a Danish lawyer's daughter who became a full-time secretary in the royal family, adapting to the demands of royal life with grace. When the Duke met Birgitte, he was studying architecture and was fifth in line to the throne. Like Harry, he had two royal uncles, Prince Edward, who famously abdicated for American divorcee Wallis Simpson, leading to Queen Elizabeth II's father, King George VI, taking the throne. Richard was the youngest of two brothers. His elder brother, Prince William, was the heir to the dukedom. Tragedy struck shortly after Richard's wedding when his older brother died in a plane crash. Weeks later, Richard became the heir to the dukedom, forcing him and Birgitte to give up their careers and home to become working royals dedicated to duty, service, and honoring the crown. Despite the heavy responsibilities that came with the dukedom, neither Richard nor Birgitte ever complained. They simply got on with their duties, supporting the Queen and now the King, proving that a second son can prioritize duty and commitment, something Harry seems unable or unwilling to grasp. 5 years after Harry supposedly found freedom, we still hear him lamenting the hardships of royal life. Meghan, too, continues to complain about the challenges she faced during her brief time as a royal. But one must wonder, is Harry truly free? And if Meghan is truly free, why does she continue to harbor grievances? If you believe Harry is truly free with Meghan, comment 1. If you think otherwise, comment 2. Penguin Publishers have decided to re-release Spare in paperback this October, which means the story will be repeated daily. Harry claims there will be no revisions or new stories, but considering his track record, it's hard not to be skeptical. Typically, bestsellers include additional chapters and paperback releases, yet Harry insists he won't be adding anything new. Some media outlets suggest this is his olive branch to his family, but I call it nonsense. I foresee one of two possibilities. First, Harry could be planning a Spare 2.0. Remember his 4-book deal with Penguin and his repeated threats that he has enough material for a second volume. Or second, this is no olive branch at all, just another strategic move to coincide with key royal events. The US. Release of the paperback is set for October 20th, and the UK. Release on October 24th, timed perfectly with King Charles and Queen Camilla's state visit to Australia and Samoa. The King will be giving a significant speech at the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference, and this visit is crucial, especially considering the King's health and recent cancer treatment. It's no surprise that Harry has time spares released to coincide with these dates. Despite claims that the publishers are at fault, it's clear that Harry knows exactly what he's doing. I expected this release to interfere with the Earthshot Prize, given Harry's envy of his brother, but Prince William has wisely distanced himself from Harry's drama. Harry may attempt to emotionally blackmail the King using his children, but William is having none of it. It's obvious that Harry is still trying to stress his father, thinking that the King might overrule legal judgments about his security and status. This is not an olive branch, it's a clear signal that Harry and Meghan intend to keep attacking his ailing father, making jabs at the monarchy in poorly veiled threats. There are rumors that the King is worried about Harry and Meghan's Netflix contract, which is said to be their last profitable arrangement. I'll delve into that in my next video, but one has to wonder how much longer can Harry and Meghan maintain their lifestyle. Their reliance on gifts, rich friends, and charity from other countries is unsustainable. With their contracts expiring and Hollywood beginning to mock them, it's clear that their only surefire way to make money is by trashing the royal family. From the moment Harry and Meghan signed those enormous deals, most of us knew they couldn't compete with the likes of the Obamas or the Beckhams. They simply don't have the work ethic or the talent. Harry and Meghan have proven time and again that they have little to offer besides scandal. Even as working royals, they barely lifted a finger, and now without the support of palace staff, they're floundering. Harry's identity is so deeply tied to his royal status that he can't be anything else, and Meghan's claim to fame is simply being Meghan. It's evident that they're still threatening the royal family, which is why King Charles must stand firm. Let them publish another tell-all, let them release Spare 2.0, let Meghan write her memoirs, because at this point, few will take them seriously. It's important to remember that Harry and Meghan didn't leave the royal family because they wanted to escape. They left because they didn't get their way. When the Queen refused their demand to be part-time royals, they threw a tantrum and went on Oprah to air their grievances. They didn't want to leave the royal family, they wanted to profit from it while enjoying all the perks. Their claims of misery and mistreatment ring hollow when you consider their true intentions. Let's not forget Meghan's so-called receipts, text messages, and emails she claims to have but has never produced. It's all part of their strategy to manipulate public opinion. But the fact is, Harry and Meghan have repeatedly lied to the courts and the public. They've relied on the excuse that it may not have happened, but we thought it did to justify their falsehoods. After 5 years of living independently from the royal gilded cage, one would think Harry would be fully emancipated by now. But the reality is, Harry and Meghan seem trapped in their own cycle of grievance and self-pity. Harry and Meghan deserve each other, and perhaps they deserve the life they've created, one marked by bitterness and alienation. It's time to release Harry from his royal duties, strip him of his titles, and remove his children, Archie and Lilibet, from the line of succession. Initially, their parents chose not to use their titles, citing their biracial identity as a reason, but later reversed the decision without consulting their children. As private U.S. citizens living in a country with no monarchy, these titles only serve to complicate their lives. The Free Harry movement suggests that King Charles should petition the government to officially remove Harry and his children from the line of succession. Watching a 40-year-old man throw a 6-year temper tantrum is not only tiresome, it's embarrassing. Harry is stuck in the past, wallowing in self-pity and anger, unable to move forward. He claims Meghan saved him from the hardships of royal life, but one has to wonder if he'll ever be truly happy, no matter his circumstances. The grass will always be greener on the other side for Harry because the problem isn't where he is, it's who he is, and this is only exacerbated by Meghan's influence. Had Harry followed his original dream of going to Africa to care for wildlife, perhaps he would have found peace. But it's clear now that he's drawn to the high life, despite claiming otherwise. The people of New York don't owe anything to Harry and Meghan. They are not public figures but celebrities, and they should pay their own way. Similarly, many ordinary citizens of countries like Nigeria or Colombia didn't ask for or want a visit from these two pretenders. This is why it's imperative that King Charles and Parliament strip Harry and his children of all titles and succession rights. When Harry loses his titles, Meghan will lose hers as well. It's scandalous that Harry continues to live in the US, clinging to an imaginary diplomatic status. How can this apply to him when he has so blatantly betrayed his family and country? It's laughable, and yet insulting to the British people. Does he truly believe that by playing pretend on American soil, he can maintain his royal sheen? It's utterly ridiculous, especially when he's the one who has been airing the family's dirty laundry for the world to see. The British people deserve better than to watch a so-called prince live out his fantasy of grandeur abroad, all while making a mockery of the very titles and traditions he claims to despise. So that's what I wanted to express in today's video. Do you agree with my ideas and opinions? Now it's your turn to share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our The King YouTube channel. Thank you very much, goodbye, and I will see you next time.